Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Monster Tamer News, the segment on this channel where we go over what's going on in the world of monster taming. This week's a little on the slower side with regards to the games that we generally cover, so I decided to add a few more games to that list that recently made announcements in the Monster Tamer World subreddit as well as in my Discord. I'm gonna do some Monster Tamer showcase videos for these games in the future, but we'll get to that later. First up, we got some Monster Crown news regarding the beta build. We just updated to version 1.421. This update includes some very interesting changes, including a 30% HP increase to all monsters across the board, as well as a 20% EXP boost across the board as well. This was changed due to player feedback regarding the battles being too short. There are also some other changes, such as Hearthskin only appearing in pumpkins, a reduction to healing cost from $25 to $15, a battle text positioning adjustment, some quality of life features like being able to open the menu with your escape key, etc. I'll leave a full list of patch notes in the description for your convenience. In Kindred Fates news, this past Friday was a special edition of the bi-weekly newsletter focusing on the 1-year anniversary of the Kindred Fates project. The newsletter covered various milestones that both the devs and community sort of achieved throughout the past year. At the end, however, they revealed a silhouette of what looks to be the elusive fire shark that they've been teasing for weeks, if not months at this point. If we look at this comparison between the two kinfolk, this one on the right being confirmed to be fire shark, we see the similarities between the two. The progress board was updated to reflect this new kinfolk, and its codename is Hull Piercer, which is leading myself and many others to believe that the word fire in fire shark is referring to the act of firing something like a torpedo or something to that extent. Another kinfolk, codenamed Cinder Kinder, was also added, and we did a video speculating on that kinfolk's identity as well, so feel free to check it out. The Coromon official YouTube and Twitter pages just released a new music track that's going to be present within the Coromon game. This piece of music was composed by Davey Vask and is titled Coromon Volcano Mine Soundtrack. Let's take a quick listen. Over to Ploxmons news, the devs released an overview image of the Ploxbosses that will appear in Ploxmons. If you remember, the Ploxbosses are the monsters that you'll be competing to defeat in battle, hence the PvPvE element of the game. As it stands, it looks like there will be roughly 30 bosses in total. The devs also teased a new Ploxmon that they described as emerging from the depths of the sea. Given that the crown sort of looks like a trident on its head, I'd say maybe it's based off of King Neptune or something like that, but only time will tell. We got a small piece of Pokemon news this week. The Shiny Aurora event will end tonight at 23:59 UTC time, and there is currently a GameStop event featuring a Dynamax Crystal for Copperjaw that'll end July 31st. This is for trainers in Ireland. In Digimon news, the DigiFes 2020, a special broadcast, I guess sort of like the Pokemon Direct equivalent for Digimon, was revealed to be hosting live on August 1st at 1800 hours JST on the Toy Animation YouTube channel. It's also been revealed that there will be a new Digimon news navigation segment on the Bandai YouTube channel on July 17th at 2000 hours JST. This segment's gonna feature news about merchandise, anime, and quote-unquote a special announcement at the end of the stream, so definitely something to look forward to. This next piece of news isn't actually that recent and not necessarily an official reveal, but I thought I'd mention it anyway, as I haven't spoken about it anywhere other than the Monster Tamer World subreddit, but one of the Cassette Beast devs confirmed over in the Byton Studio Discord that there won't be any IVs coming to Cassette Beasts. Now, for those of you who don't know, IVs are sort of the inherent stats that creatures like Pokemon or Temtem have, and they can't necessarily change them, at least by easy means. Though some games sort of make it easier to breed and manipulate these stats, especially in recent years, the general rule is basically that if you have a crappy monster, it's destined to stay crappy. This precedent has seemed to find its way into many Monster Tamer titles, but apparently not Cassette Beasts. They stated that there will be a way to customize your creatures so they're not all the same, but not that way, as it adds artificial grind and RNG to the mix. Now, I've got to say personally, I'm 100% on board with this. Next, we're going to check out a couple games that I haven't yet covered on the channel, but have relevant news this week, and the first of that's being Abomi Nation, created by Orange Pylon. Basically, it's a roguelike monster tamer game with permadeath that sort of reminds me of a mix between Paper Mario and Pokemon. It essentially features heavily customizable playthroughs and has a demo on Steam available, which I'll link in the description. I'll be covering this one in an episode of Monster Tamer Showcase this week, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, this week, they revealed a new monster called Divungnion. which changes form when its ally dies and is honestly quite hilarious. Its two potential evolutions are based off of these forms, one being peeled and the other being unpeeled. The monster designs of this game range quite vastly and tend to be on the more cutesy or sort of strange side of things, so if that's your preference, I highly recommend you check it out. It's a solo dev project and I'm sure they'd really appreciate the feedback. Earlier this week, the Magica YouTube channel just released an early development gameplay trailer, which you can currently see on screen. It features some egg hatching, some farming, and a little bit of battling. Basically, Magica, from what it looks like, is sort of like a cross between Pokemon and Animal Crossing, featuring, you know, those sort of turn-based battles mixed with maintaining a farm or a village of some sort. If this is something that interests you, I'll also leave a link to that in the description. Another game that was recently revealed is honestly kind of a meme, but that makes me want to play it more, and that being Druggiemon. A game about, well, I'm sure you can guess. The dev's been really active both on Twitter and in our subscriber Discord, which you should totally join, by the way, in revealing to us the various types of Druggiemon, a few being plant, dream, placebo, alien, virtual, etc., as well as some various monster designs. I think the funniest part about all of this is that these designs are actually really cool looking, and the game sort of reminds me of Red and Blue. It actually looks really cool. If you are interested, like I said, check out the Druggiemon channel in our Discord and ask the dev any questions regarding this project. I'm sure they'd love to answer. I'll also leave a link to the early gameplay trailer in the description. There are a ton of monsters in the Discord, including the starters, and I'll be doing a separate video going over those. There's way too much information already just to cover in this small segment. There was also a new Monster Tamer game announced this week over in the MTW subreddit called Crystal Water Blue, which shows off a new world to explore, the evolution mechanic, and interestingly, a more tactical combat system that sort of reminds me of the Fire Emblem systems. Link to the full trailer will be in the description. And finally, we got the Temtem weekly reset, as well as a small showcase of what to expect with the Kisiwa cosmetics. Looks pretty cool. Anyways, the reset will focus on high SVs with Adoraboros and Banapee spawning. Adoraboros will have a 50% spawn rate with a minimum SV value of 27, whilst Banapee will spawn every time with a minimum value of 31. Both will have a 10% chance to have an egg move, and it's going to cost you 2,300 Pansuns for 22 Psy cards. The free time rewards are as follows: 50 releases for 2 revives, 100 releases for 20 smoke bombs, 250 releases for 2 shamrock dies, and 400 releases for 2 bigger DNA strands, which pass down HP and stamina. Pretty interesting week, a bit of a mixed bag if you ask me. This configuration will last from July 6th until July 12th. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for the happenings this week in monster taming. If you do have any suggestions for more games for me to cover, please feel free to let me know. I was looking at some other games that I was already planning on covering in the future for this segment particularly, but there wasn't really anything going on in those particular games, so make sure to suggest some. Maybe I already know about them, maybe I don't. I appreciate it when you guys do. I really hope you guys do enjoy this segment, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, GymLeaderEd. Again, check out our subscriber Discord, all links in the description. Until next time, peace.